You can change any habit in 20 days. I am not going to do one of those wishy-washy videos that gives you some tips and tricks for changing your habits. I am just gonna tell you how it is done because there is a simple formula that anyone can use to change their habits, even if they don't have willpower, motivation, or discipline. This is from a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And yes, I read the book so you don't have to. Now let me explain this with one of my own personal habits. I want to be more consistent with posting YouTube shorts. So let's walk through the formula. Step number 1. You need to identify the type of habit that you want to build. I want to build a habit. So the first letter of the word habit is capitalized. It's a good habit. You want to write down exactly what this habit is. For me, it's post a YouTube short every single day. That's my habit. Then we need to identify an undesirable habit that you currently have. This can be something that you already know is a bad habit, like drinking too much alcohol or eating fast food every night. But it can also be a good habit that you aren't doing enough of. For example, I know that I could be spending way more time trying to grow my business and make more money, but I choose not to because I enjoy creating these videos. So the fact that I am not posting more videos on my channel is both a bad and good habit. So for this example, let's say the habit I'm replacing is play video games every night. Now we need to get very specific about when and where you are going to replace your bad habit with your good habit. To do this, ask yourself 2 questions. When am I going to replace the bad habit? And where am I going to replace the bad habit? For the question, when am I going to replace the bad habit? Consider all the different times throughout the day that you currently engage in your undesirable habit. For me, I know that I play video games every night when I come home from work. So for me, the answer to this question is every night at 6 p.m. Once you figure out when you're going to replace this habit, you want to write that down in this box here. And then for the second question, where am I going to replace the bad habit? Think about all the places that you are currently engaging in your undesirable habit. For me, I play video games on my gaming computer. So for me, the answer to this question is on my gaming computer. Write that down right here. The next step is to fill in the box that says what will I do instead. This is where you put the good habit that you want to replace the bad habit with. Remember the good habit that we identified earlier? For me, it's post a YouTube short every single day. This isn't really a habit that I have to think about when and where I am going to do it because I am pretty much always carrying my phone around with me. So I'm either posting on my phone, which is what I usually do, or on my laptop, which is what I'm doing right now. So let's go ahead and write that down. The next box is what will I gain by doing this? Here you want to write down what benefits you will receive from replacing the bad habit with the good habit. Now there are 3 things that you should consider writing down here. The first is what you'll gain physically. Will you lose weight? Will you be stronger? The second is what you'll gain mentally. Will you feel smarter? Will you have better self-confidence? The third thing is what you'll gain spiritually. Will you feel closer to God? Will you be more fulfilled? For me, I don't really have a spiritual side, so the only 2 things that I'm really focused on are physical and mental gains. And I wrote down that I'll gain more confidence if I am more consistent with posting YouTube shorts because it'll help me overcome my fear of putting myself out there and I'll be seen as more confident in my YouTube videos. I'll also gain physical health benefits because I won't be sitting in front of my computer playing video games for hours and hours every night. Instead, I'll be more active and moving throughout the day since posting YouTube shorts doesn't require me to sit in front of my computer. The next box is what will I lose if I do this? And this is really important. You want to think about all the things that you will lose if you replace your bad habit with your good habit. Again, consider physical, mental, and spiritual losses. If you're going to lose weight, list that down. If you're going to feel less stressed, write that down. If you're going to feel closer to God, then write that down. I don't really have any spiritual losses here, but I know that if I start being more consistent with posting YouTube shorts, I will lose the ability to waste time playing video games, and I will lose the ability to procrastinate on my responsibilities. The next box is how will I track this? For this, you want to think about how you can track your progress. Is there a way that you can count how many times you engaged in your good habit versus your bad habit? Are there metrics online that you can look at to determine whether or not you've made progress? For example, if my good habit is to post a YouTube short every day, then I can simply check my analytics and see how many views each of my videos got. If I posted a video that day, then I know that I was consistent. I'm not focusing too much on the numbers because I'm not doing this for views. but I do think it is important to track the numbers so that I can make sure I am making progress. Another way that I could track this would be by checking my calendar and seeing if I have a YouTube short scheduled for every single day. Or I could simply check my phone to see how many YouTube shorts I've posted. If I posted one YouTube short that day, then I was consistent. If I didn't, then I wasn't consistent. The next box is when will I start? You want to pick a date that's not too far in the future, but also not too far in the past. I recommend picking a date that's about 2 weeks from now. This is because we want to follow the 20-day rule. The 20-day rule states that it takes 20 days to form a new habit. And I think that if you stick with this plan for 20 days, you're gonna have no problem keeping it up. Pick a date 2 weeks from now and write it down right here. And the last box is why will I do this? This is important because you want to have a strong reason why you're doing this. You want to have a deep sense of purpose. Why do you want to change your life? Why do you want to stop playing video games every night? Why do you want to start posting YouTube shorts every day? For me, I want to change my life because I feel like I have so much potential and I haven't given myself a chance to succeed. I feel like I have been playing video games my whole life and I still haven't become good at any of them. If I spent all the time that I spent playing video games, trying to grow my business, or trying to learn how to become a better content creator, I would be miles ahead of where I am now. That's why I'm choosing to change my habits. And I hope that by sharing my process, you're inspired to change yours as well. So let me ask you a question. What habit do you want to change over the next 20 days? And if you actually did this exercise and came up with a new habit that you want to start, please share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what new habits you guys are starting. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe because I'm making videos about personal finance and entrepreneurship every single day. Make sure you check out my other videos. Have a great rest of your day. Love you.